Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Figuring Out Friday podcast brought to you by Healing Your Way. And today we have a pretty fun topic. Uh, we're going to go over the seven spiritual laws. These are laws that I've been taught when I was very young, and they have a lot to do with how you should go about and approach life and think of things in certain ways that benefit you. And a lot of these lessons are very core values and core lessons that have helped me not only in my life but help me show others how to better their lives as well. So this is what we're going to get into today. There's seven of them, and each of us are going to cover one, and then the last one we're all going to kind of chime in and give our thoughts and experiences. You'll get a little bit of thoughts and experiences from each one of us as we explain uh, each individual one. But yeah, um, before we get into that, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel on all of our platforms. We're here on Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So please check those platforms out and give us a like and a follow so we can give you guys the best content possible. And yeah, let's get into the first law, which is everything is possible.
So I'm doing the first law, one of the seven laws of nature, and this law, as Son said, is basically everything's possible, or the law of potentiality. And for this law, all you want to do is basically just take 30 minutes to meditate twice a day, every day. And with this law, what you're trying to do is just trying to be one with nature, or just try to take it in and truly understand what you like about everything that's around you, and just try to be in tune with your surroundings. And uh and you also, with this law, you want to be non-judgmental. So try to be less judgmental of other people, the people that you meet, when you first meet them especially. And just try to find the intelligence, or just a good quality about someone that you meet, so that every time you meet them, you have that quality in mind, and it changes the way you think about people, yourself, and how you commune with nature.
And how have you witnessed this this law of everything is possible in your own life?
Um, Sometimes for my religion, we meditate sometimes, and when I meditate, we usually close our eyes and pray. And when I do that, it sometimes helps me think about like what am I praying for, and what am I thankful for, and all these things that just make you be appreciative of the people around you and the world that you live in. Because there's a bunch of other planets out there, but not many of them can do what our planet can do, and we may not be in the same situation that another person might be.
And I think all opportunities happen so that you can experience life. And I think appreciating that you're here on this earth to do great things, and you're put in certain positions so that you can do good for yourself and also other people. So I think being thankful for the people around you, the nature around you, and the fact that you're here today is important as well.
It can even be small aspects, like something like type of food that you might like enjoying every day, a or a hobby, or anything that, or a piece, an instrument that you might be thankful for because you like to play or want to practice. Like anything, even small things, can apply with this rule too.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to touch up on the nature part of that law. I think it's really interesting that nature has been, throughout all the centuries of mankind. So it really holds a lot of memories, and I think it has its own remedies in its own way. So exploring nature, going for that walk, taking, an hour or two outside every day is just important for your health in general and leads to those hidden possibilities that you can find in those scenarios.
And
And
I kind of, or go
and
ahead.
What are some hidden possibilities you would say that you have experienced that come out of certain decisions you made?
Well, everyone has decisions like they thought about in the past where they think that they might regret a choice or may think about doing something differently. And with that, that's what comes to mind. Um, I could have made a few decisions like staying up late at night, which would negatively impact me later on, or I could make the decision to go to bed and get adequate amounts of sleep, which would also help with. I'm sure you guys have heard this enough about our circadian rhythm, and help us feel energized better in the morning. And it's like a lot of like these tiny decisions or even big decisions that can come together and really affect you.
And I
And
also think like another example that I've experienced is, say even at school you're having a test come up, or even just for your final grade, meeting with that teacher after class, talking to them, communicating with your teacher, as well as making sure you have a good relationship with them, might even spark a new end to that outcome where you get a better grade than you could have had because you communicate with the teacher. So there's endless possibilities with all the decisions you make in life.
yeah, and when it says find the hidden possibilities in familiar situations, you can even implement that right now. You can look at things that are going on in your life that you're not really comfortable with or that you think are not serving you in the best way, and you can try to find hidden possibilities or solutions in those problems that you have right now. So, say for example, you've never approached your problem in a different way than you have been recently, or for however extended period of time you've had this problem. You can approach it in a different way. You can, if a person is involved, if a person is involved in it, external to you, you can approach them in a different way, talk to them in a different way, and you really have no idea what can come out of that simple conversation with another person. Um, you even talking to them could open up the door to so many different things. Like for example, miscommunication is a big topic that usually uh, ends up being the problem with a lot of people, and not willing to talk about it or approach people in the first place is what leads to many trickling problems down the line. So you even approaching someone is the first step to finding a hidden possibility in a familiar situation. So I think to be fearless and not to be afraid of the hidden possibilities is important as well, because otherwise you won't have that initiative to even try it in the first place.
Yeah, and this also comes from any previous situations you might have encountered. So you can encounter a situation and then familiarizing yourself with it, and then if you run into something on the same level, you can maybe one take a step back and just familiarize yourself and think of what route you took in the past and what different route you can take. So taking that extra leap of confidence to just take that next decision can take you like way farther than what you would have done previously.
Any more comments for this first law?
I mean, if I had to provide another example of familiar situations, I'm a big procrastinator, so I often find myself in a familiar situation of uh, not being able to turn my work on time or doing my work like very close to the deadline. And hidden possibilities would be to set up a schedule to plan out a time to do it beforehand. In which case, I didn't do before. That would help me solve my situation. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, which is something that you have to take the step to try to change.
That was beautiful by Einstein, I'm pretty sure.
And then any other comments we have for this one, or we're all good? Everyone on board?
Yep.
All right, then we can
And also, I
on.
wanted to say that each law is for a different day, so you can practice say the law that we just went over for which would be for Sunday, and now we're moving on to Monday's law.
Yeah, so each day you can focus on implementing a new thing, and then eventually you can implement all of these every day of the week. But splitting it up kind of gives you a way to go about it, and to actually have a routine to implement it. So there you go. But we can move on to Monday, which is law number 2.
So yeah, law number 2 is also known as the law of giving. I found this one quite powerful and beautiful in its own sense, and it's very much, I guess you could say, the logic is based off number 1. So that's why you have to go in chronological order from Sunday to Monday. So, in the law of giving on a Monday, you're supposed to bring like whoever you encounter a gift, whether it be a compliment or a flower, and on their part, they're supposed to gratefully receive those gifts. And by keeping that wealth circulating, by giving and receiving that care, you can, it leads into other areas like that affection, appreciation, and love. So, like this law summed up is that if you want to get something, you got to give it. And the where it stems from is from yourself, from your inside. If you want to, receive respect from someone, you got to be respecting of yourself. Whether that be a professor, whether that be your parents, whether that be, a peer, a classmate, it goes all around, and it's a really unique concept that you have to find the answer within yourself before you can look for the answer in others. It's the same, and this applies not just for respect. Goes for kindness as well. I'm sure we all heard at one point in our lives, treat others the way you want to be treated, right? So you got to be kind to yourself, and then others will be kind to you, right? It's just like a domino effect, and you could say, and it goes into other examples as well, like love. You can't be looking out for a relationship with somebody else if you don't love yourself first, right? It doesn't sound very smart. So self-love is like gotta gotta be a priority just for your mental health sakes before you put yourself out there. And then I think it's even with trust, like I'm sure we all did at some point, like a trust fall, like where you're having somebody else hold you while falling down. And you got to put trust in yourself first before somebody else does a trust fall, right? You're not going to fall down until you trust yourself and say, I'm going to be okay. And put my physical body in somebody else's hands for them to catch me, right? And I got a couple exercises for this law. So, um, if you want to give something to someone else in the family, like a compliment, you would give them a compliment and say what you're thankful for in your family. It doesn't have to be your family; it could be your friends. It could even be like a classmate or even a professor, and it's like really unique in its own sense because you have no idea what somebody else might be dealing with, and that words or sentence of kindness could really change that person's day. And usually no one's just gonna like um walk away after you say a compliment, so they're going to be really touched by that, and that's the next step. They're going to receive that graciously, and vice versa. If you receive a compliment from somebody else, you're going to receive that graciously and thank them for spending their time of day to give that compliment. um
And
and then
we can to make that exercise kind of clear, like it can be done in many ways, like even easily, like say each one of us could say something nice about each other, and then like we can even practice it right now. Like Alex, maybe you say something nice about San, and San can go to somebody else, and you know.
all right, I'll start. Sahan, you got a really nice smile and a very big heart, and I really appreciate meeting you and getting to experience your heartfulness and warmfulness throughout our friendship.
Son, you're
You're
muted.
muted.
Okay, what I was gonna say, Alex. Okay, so the second part, we gotta remember, receive graciously. So Alex gave me a really, really nice compliment there, and I'm gonna say, thank you very much, Alex. I'm glad I'm able to give you that type of hospitality and feeling, and I'm just glad to share this whole journey with you in general. So I very appreciate the compliment. So all right, So now it's my turn to kind of lead down the chain. So who should I, Joshin? Since you started it off, so who should I go to next?
You can go to anybody. Go to Prit, or then Prit to Michael, or it could be anything.
All right,
Anybody.
I'll throw this one out to Mike. Mike, I very appreciate I appreciate you very much for coming into my life and very recently actually, and I feel like we've been very good friends. We formed a good group dynamic, and you are a very honest and genuine person. When you want to say something, you say it, and I feel like to see that genuineness in other people, it's really hard. And you are very caring and considerate, and I appreciate every single thing you do. So just know you are very appreciated.
I appreciate those grateful words of yours. And, you guys will always be in my heart. And I'm truly thankful of your hospitality and understanding.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And then Mike, you can go ahead and maybe even your turn.
Let me go to Joshua. Lower the volume.
Yeah, lower the volume so the no echo.
So Joshan, man, I don't know, man. I truly love you. You're like a really understanding person, like really open and like person that would see through and think through the scenarios and always try to resolve the issue if they got issue. So I would say that's really great trait of yours. I would say, I don't know, pretty smart kid, really helpful, and pretty open minded.
Thank you. I really appreciate that because, and I appreciate all the company that you've given me and my brother meeting us, and even all of us here today. Like, I think what shows truly is like you're a really loyal friend, and I really appreciate that. And I think I'll say to Michael, I really appreciate having Michael as one of my friends. He's one of the first people that I met at Jefferson, and I've been his friend since then. And I think that he's has a very overwhelmingly funny and kind of joyous personality. And I think that's kind of, for me, it kind of spreads to the whole group where we're in a like excited and happy mood because he's there, and I really appreciate that. And I think he has a lot of input when it comes to how we're feeling, and knowing that certain people need more help and things like that. He can see it and kind of talk to us as a friend, and he's always there. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, Joshan. Even like if I can't see myself, I'm glad I'm able to impact you that way, and that you can, send and give me that feedback.
Mhm.
And then my compliment is going to go to
Last
Prit.
but not least.
Prit, even though I just recently met you.
It goes back to Alex, bro.
Oh yeah, then Prit has to go back to Alex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm just happy how like joyous you are in everyday life. You bring me a lot of joy, and the kindness in your heart. I feel in this world there's a lot of there's a lot of compassion missing. So with you, I see that you're full of it, and it really spreads to me too. And then through me, I am able to spread it through other people. Just and you're able to push through a lot of difficult situations. So no matter what step back you might have, I believe that you always have a greater leap forward. One step for man is a big step for mankind.
I think it's supposed to be one giant leap, bro.
You get the message.
But
Closer, graciously receiving the compliment.
but
Yeah,
I appreciate your words of kindness, and I'm really happy that I give off that kind of image towards you. So I guess now I go to Alex.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Go ahead.
I love Alex's, I guess you would say, free spirit in a way, and I love his eagerness and willingness to do whatever activities we plan, or him always being down to do something, and he's just easy to get along with, and I find that really important in a person, and he's just like the shining light in a room, bro. So I appreciate that about you, bro.
Thank you for your very kind words, and you help me and my shine brighter.
Mhm.
And I
And
wouldn't be shining this bright without you. And it's actually
That
for all
was
of you.
that was great,
thank
man.
you. Yeah, and if
Yeah, so that's like a
Alex,
sample of this whole exercise. But yeah,
Mhm.
go back to that.
and Alex, if you have well, whatever you were continuing before, or for this exercise.
Oh, as that was the second step, the receiving graciously, like we all just
Mhm.
showed you. And the third step would just be, sharing that brief ritual of gratitude for life's gifts. And that, I think that wraps it up for the law of giving. Unless you have anybody else has anything to say.
So when it says share a brief ritual of gratitude for life's gifts, what is that pretty much like kind of saying? Is that part of this? Is it like just developing like a routine to to show
So
gratitude?
so I think it's part of something that you can do every day, whether it be small or just an appreciation of life's gifts. How I see it is like sometimes in the mornings I would pray for just a little bit, not even that long, but just appreciating you for being here, yourself for being here, and that you're healthy and happy, as well as I appreciate all my friends, all my family, everybody around me, even people that I don't know, everybody in this world or everybody in this universe that exists. I hope that they're happy and healthy around me, and that they'll do greater in the future. And yeah, it could be a quick thing like that. You could just say it out loud, or say something like a small prayer, and it's just something to acknowledge life's gifts.
And yeah, I think we summed that up perfectly. And if you guys want a reference point, we have the activity done right there in live for you guys. So don't it's not awkward. You should just mean what you say. There's it's all honesty. So you say exactly what you feel. And if you can't find something to say about someone, then that means I don't know, maybe you are not very nice to yourself in the first place. So try to find the good and the gratitude in everyone. And like the law says, if you want something, you got to give it. So just keep that in mind. And that's for Monday. So let's move on to Tuesday, which is when you make a choice, you change the futures, because this is a big one.
Okay, so third one. Third one is the law of karma, and I believe that people have like a bad sensation when they hear karma because it's like misunderstood and kind of online. I guess people online change the people's perspective about karma. Karma like means action in like Asian. Comes from one of the Asian Indian languages, and it means action. And so the best, like a lot of people think it's like a punishment, but bad karma only comes in if you mess up or like you do something bad. Like it doesn't work like that. It's karma is more about energy and the consequences. Like whatever energy you put in and are giving out, you should expect that energy back. So I would say like one of the like we see this every day. Imagine holding door for someone else, and later in the day, like you got something going on, and suddenly someone comes up and offers you help. That's really how karma works. Like you held the door for someone else, you give it positive energy, positive karma. So then later into the day, that karma came back to you. And by changing a future, I believe uh, that that's a thing. And every choice we make, like I believe we literally write our own future. Like destiny might be a thing, but like we're given this destiny because every choice we make literally writes out the script and what will happen later into our life. Like for example will be imagine you giving someone a compliment or maybe starting a small talk, and then this basically changed your future because now you're introducing new people into your life. Now you have future with these people. They might be your lifelong friends and you will never know, and all because of this small talk. And then imagine these guys introduce you to their friends, and their friends suddenly offer you like a job opportunity or whatever for your future. So basically, now you're one of what now you introduce job and new life, new profession in your life, and that was all because you started small talk. And I can give up that as my example. Like whatever I just explained is whole example of how I ended up here and how me and Prithvi are basically here because we started small talk in a library with Alex and Michael. They were watching Adriano Celentano, Italian actor, musician, and I talked to Michael. You know this guy because like in Europe, like Soviet Union times, like he was very popular. So I know from my family. And then we started small talk, whatever. Like we introduced each other, get to know each other, and then they introduced us to Josha and Sahan. Josha and Sahan introduced us to physical therapy and all these ways that we can help people and like use our being here to help people and spread out every information that we gather and everything we learn every day. So I do believe that our like actions, even small actions, change our future. And I would say like kind of never say no. So you never know what opportunity you might come across or like what might change in your life. Because even small talk can change your path and rewrite whole script. Do you guys have like examples that you can talk about small changes, maybe small talk that got you some opportunities and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I can I can kind of go first. Like I would say instead of like it can be small opportunities, but also times where I kind of wanted to opt out or say no. Uh, I kind of this happened especially with sports and soccer and stuff. Like sometimes trainings would get hard, or martial arts trainings would get hard, and sometimes I would opt out and say no. But well enough that the times I did say yes and I did go, even if I wasn't feeling the greatest or the best, but I still went through with it because I stuck to my commitment. I saw the most growth and development from those times that I didn't want to go, but I still managed to pull through and stick to my commitment. So I think you have it goes back to the law of karma about the commitments you make as well. So if you make a commitment, I think sticking to it says a lot about not a lot about just your character, but also what you're there to do. When you make a commitment, it's something you've planned to do for an extended period of time, and um, the stuff that you can get out of it only comes when you show up consistently. So I kind of learned that lesson, like maybe the hard way, or like in a way where it was just a lesson that I needed to learn at least while I was young, because now when I go into certain commitments, I know what's kind of expected of me, and that whatever I give in is what I get out, which is pretty much relates back to the law of karma.
Yep, and also Joshan mentioned bro, turn on the volume. Joshan mentioned that like we can do simple things throughout the weekday. So my weekday was Tuesday. So when you make a choice, you can like you change the future. Like one of the easiest things you can do is like talk about some choices that you made today. We can even like talk and give our examples right now if you guys have one. I will go because me and Prithvi have one. Like today we um, decided to go to Newtown Healing Your Way Clinic. So we were there shadowing and learning some new stuff. So that that basically change how our future will go now, because we'll probably spend more time at the clinic learning and getting more familiar with it. So I guess that was our choice today. You guys got anything?
I kind of have one, but I wanted to tie it into because this law and the fourth
Mm,
law kind of go together in a way. So I want to save
okay.
it, but if they, Michael and Alex, if you have.
If not, I will just move on
Mhm.
to the second one.
I was just gonna say, um, for me, even though it's a small change, or decision, is about the diet, right? You know, those late night cravings, you know, if you don't take that bite of that chocolate bar, you don't go to Wawa and get that smoothie, you know, you're gonna wake up in the morning feeling 1% better the next day. Rather, if you take that, you're gonna deal with the consequences of that, you know, added weight the next morning. So it's on you to make the decision to what you want that karma to be, you know? You get to pick that consequence. And that's really unique. I feel like that's a perfect example of this law.
Mhm.
And for me, maybe just I just started meal prepping starting towards like the end of this summer, and already I feel the great effects of it. And I have the other option, which is not meal prepping. And from the past, like in the school food is not exactly the best. You guys remember the other podcast on nutrition? So by just sacrificing a little bit of time, I'm able to feel my body way better and just overall feel better. And it also cuts it also gives me more time as well by just being able to grab something straight out the fridge and just eating it.
Mhm. And I guess now I'm gonna go into the law of least effort, or the when don't say no, go with the flow, which is the fourth law for Wednesday. And when I say don't say no, we'll go with the flow, it's not going in blindly saying yes and just letting people trample all over you, or just agreeing with every situation at hand. It's about saying don't not saying no, so that you can open yourself to a lot of new opportunities and new ways of learning. If you when you're saying no, you're building a block in front of you, and also you're kind of like pushing yourself down in this way of resisting. So you're resisting as well as you're feeling the situation at hand instead of learning what you could learn in the future. For example, when I'm saying go with the flow, if you see a river, the water in the river just goes down with the flow where it's going, and the rocks and the twigs maybe in the way, it just goes around it, and its shape maybe even shapes the rocks into smoother rocks later on, and it goes with the flow. Just because there might be a conflict or sadness or some feelings of grief, you don't let it sit you down and you stop and say no. For example, if you feel some sort of sadness, you don't just go to food or drinking or things like that. You should face that emotion and in turn you can learn a lot about yourself and even a lot about other people that are involved. And my example that I felt was when the first time where we found out about Traeger, me and San, we were in high school at the time, and this kind of goes with uh, if you make a choice, you change your future in the last one. But at the time, I was kind of like closed down to the opportunity or the chance to learn something new, as I felt like it was a big leap into another direction. But I think God offered me this opportunity, and after I saw the first session and experienced the first session, I it kind of catapulted me into this new direction where it helps me even to now. I would have never thought that Traeger would have impacted me to where I am now. At this point now, I'm doing my certifications for level 2, and I have a new way of learning after realizing what Traeger can do to people and how it can affect people positively. And making people feel better is what we're here for. So I think opening yourself to an opportunity where you might not even know what's going to happen might be better than saying no and blocking yourself up, because in this life we're all here for the ride. We're all here to learn new things and better ourselves, uh, so that we can make other people around us even better people.
Yeah, and I met some really nice and beautiful people at while just doing the Traeger trainings. All of those all the people that I met there are super nice and genuine, and dynamic I've had in both my level 1 and level 2 trainings was just so nice and comforting. And always have good vibes when I come out of the trainings. And sometimes when I'm in back in my world after the training's over, I kind of miss that dynamic that the training gave me, because all of those people are just super nice, loving, and genuine people that I got to spend time with. And some of them were complete strangers to me, but I feel like I kind of have like a connection now with them that I would have never had if I haven't shared the training time with them.
Mhm. And always, life is taking you on an experience. So, and everything that comes out of experience is something that you can take and learn for a new thing in the future to handle that type of situation. You might learn things where you might have never even thought of it before. So, taking an opportunity, taking that little step that maybe is uncomfortable, even putting yourself in an uncomfortable position, will always, I have found, always has led to something better and something new. And kind of letting go of the ego as well, and letting yourself learn something new instead of being scared like, oh, I'm not going to be good at this, I'm not going to do well in this. just just letting yourself be open to something new, the inner openness.
Yeah, I feel like life doesn't always go the way we want. So I guess we should start opening up more and like accept what's going on around us and during that moment, and I just accept it and go with it and just think about how can I use it and why am I in this scenario right now. So I guess you have to like calculate and see through your actions and just seek for uh, best outcome for you, you know.
hmm And you never know what God has in store for you. You might you might meet somebody new, or you might be in a situation where you don't want to be, but just kind of letting life take you along on this ride is very important for your personal development, and also for other people around you if you want to teach people or even make people's lives better. And also
Yeah.
being present as well. Make sure you're being present in the moment and appreciating the gifts that nature has for you, and appreciating everything around you.
I
Yeah.
want to say that I've seen this law before too. Um, During when I was in high school, I accidentally I accidentally got placed into band class during high school as one of my classes, and I didn't have an instrument, so I didn't know what I was doing. So I just sat in the corner and I was listening, and a band teacher called me up because he noticed that I was there and I didn't look like I knew what I was doing, and he asked me, "Are you supposed to be in band?" And I said, "No, I think I accidentally pressed this class, but like the stuff that you were doing seemed interesting." And then he decided to tell the whole class that I loved band and that I was joining the class. And I did not say all that, but I decided, you know what? It seems pretty interesting. The drums seem cool. So I decided to stick with it. And I ended up doing band for the next 2 years. But even after band, uh, that passion, I feel like, still moved forward because then later on, I bought a guitar and I wanted to learn how to play guitar to play, you know, whatever song that you wanted to play. And I feel like being open to new opportunities or whatever might seem interesting to you, even if it's just at a time, might branch off into something that you'll enjoy later in the future. And I feel like this is how many people form hobbies. And it's through trying things that you would normally wouldn't try the first time.
Hmm. And Alex, you have something as well?
Yeah, I think just like Prit said about trying out band, I also never before cooked before my life until this summer. And um, I was nervous when I first started out, and I turned out, I don't know if it's biasy, but I liked my cooking more than other people's cooking that they made for me in my house. So I think that was a step of where I stepped out of my shell, because you're starting with all these raw materials and you're starting from like box one, and I used to just start from step six, which is like getting the fork and knife and start eating. But I had to start from, just setting everything up from step zero. And it's really that journey from, being fully responsible for that meal, and it's
Mhm.
low key stressful because if you mess up, then you don't have a meal.
Yeah,
But I'm
and
glad I went through that and picked up that new habit.
hmm and I'm sure you even will carry this throughout your whole life, learning new things, ways to cook and things like that. But also, you gain probably a level of appreciation for when you didn't have to cook. For the people that spent their time and effort into making that food for you, and kind of realizing how much they did, and kind of just appreciating everyone around you that's involved with the situation. So you learning how to cook made you realize a new thing as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it
Mhm.
opens many more corridors of opportunities.
Yeah. If any-
And
Mhm.
uh, yeah, I think we wrapped up the Wednesday one all nice, and now we can move on to Thursday, which is every time you wish or want, you plant a seed.
Yeah, so for this Thursday one, this law is called the law of um, uh, desire and
Intention and desire.
yeah, intention and desire.
That's a longer one.
So your intentions and your thoughts uh, and any desire you have, it has a lot of energy in it. So whatever you think might be light has a lot of energy that carries into like a lot of aspects of your life. And you can think of it as like a seed too, because when you plant that seed, that seed will grow into a plant. And this might seem like simple on the surface, but it's also very powerful when you put into practice. And it's not about just wishing either, because uh, if you plant that seed and then you water it, you don't just like wish and then it will like grow. But it's or like you want to lose 10 pounds, you don't just wish it and then it magically just happens. You have to align, even if it's just small alignments. As long as you're consistent with it, you're gonna reach for the results. And you have to basically focus that energy into the seed that you're trying to grow and let go of every step along the way. And a good like analogy you can think of is you're in a garden, and that seed that you plant, you don't just go digging it up every day and like wishing it like, grows faster, because that's going to slow down like the actual growth process. And the most growth that you're going to be able to get from it is from the outside factors. So you're watering it and you're letting your seed get sunlight, and it will eventually grow. And there is like a level of uncertainty to that as well, but you really need to let go and let go of the control that's there, and
The
really just,
spot like trust and like
yeah, trusting the
trusting.
process. Yeah.
Mhm.
And just showing up with small actions, and basically from then on, nature was gonna like handle the rest of it. So a nice story I have is about my ex, and I try to keep this short, but I had to basically learn that sometimes my desire or love might be real and it was there, but the outcome wasn't meant to unfold the way that I wanted it to. And I had to basically let go of the control. And that meant that I was trusting that there is a bigger plan out there for me and that person. And again, just because things don't go towards the way that you plan the outcome to be, doesn't mean that you have to like cut everything off about like maybe that person, because they were once a memorable part of your life and they really did mean something in that moment. So you can still love or care for someone, but basically letting go of the need to manage that relationship or that thing that you once had, is a good thing. And detachment would mean losing that control, but not shutting off your compassion fully. And again, with the intention, you really want that intention to be deep, so it has the power to um, turn into something that fuels you when your motivation runs out or is low. Uh, Yeah.
And like say it's like if you want something to happen, you have to know it and believe it and do it with all your heart, you know. If you want to be in this position, say that I'm training to be a lot heavier than I am now, or doing try kind of be a lot more fit. I have to do these things like going to the gym every day and kind of not thinking about it as a stress part, but just filling your bucket into kind of like getting ready for, or kind of like warming up to where you want to be, and not like thinking about it as a stress factor. It just uh keeping the pot full, I think. Like
Yeah, you're slowly reaching that goal. So slowly self-aligning everything, and then you'll be able to reach it and just let the universe, nature, everything lead you there. So sort of like all the previous laws, I feel it all now like snowballing into like this one. So yeah. And for this one, it's Thursday, and it says here that on Thursdays you would want to list clearly all your desires for the week, and then you release your desires for nature to fulfill it. Again, letting go of that control and being alert in the present moment where all fulfillment occurs. So this part, you don't want to plan it and look ahead into the future, or just passively being there, because that's not where the opportunity is going to be. You want to still be able to actively search and be looking in the present moment, because that's where a lot of the attention needs to be when you're trying to grow. And just to kind of wrap things up for this one, you just need to plant that seed, and it's okay if you don't have it all figured out. But as long as you plant that seed, and you nurture and align your actions with it, um, it's going to lead to that outcome that you want.
yeah, all the hidden possibilities that we talked about in the first law may
Yep.
happen from planting the seed.
This goes along with one of these concepts I really agree with. You don't look at the whole staircase. You just got to look at the first step.
Mhm.
That's like the planting the seed part.
I like that one.
Mhm.
Sahan, you like that one?
Yeah, I messed with that one. That one was good.
Okay. Well,
Any other inputs for this one? Thursday? All right. If not, then it's my turn now. And today is Friday, and my day of the week for the seven spiritual laws is Friday. So today, what everyone is supposed to do is enjoy the journey. And I know Alex always spams this quote like crazy. So Alex, you want to drop that one real quick?
Oh yeah, I got you. This is intro. It's about the journey, not the destination.
There you go. So that kind of gives like a good that he had a little add on, a little twist to it, but I think he at heart is still telling the same message about enjoying the journey. And this law or this concept of enjoying the journey, which is aimed for Fridays, is linked to the law of detachment. And the definition that I have here is the law of detachment is to allow yourself and others the freedom to be who they are and do not force solutions. Allow solutions to spontaneously emerge. Uncertainty is essential and your path to freedom. So I think that the law of detachment allows you to enjoy the journey because you do not attach yourself to any outcomes or materialistic things that are happening inside of your world. You kind of, by detaching yourself. So let me actually go into what it means to detach. So to detach is to pretty much like even physically, mentally, spiritually separate yourself from all the external outcomes or things that you think you have control of over life. The way I like to think about it is if you are detached from everything, nothing owns you own nothing pretty much. And the fact that you own nothing means that nothing or nobody owns you at the same time as well. So if you apply that, nothing really has control over you. And when you nothing has no control or say over you, the possibilities are limitless and endless, and you really have no boundaries to kind of meet at. You are able to do anything and everything since you are nothing. It's kind of like two opposite ends, but being nothing is also at the same time being everything. And the the methods or the practices that come along with this Fridays, which is enjoy the journey, is to talk about the real you. So, like I said, you can only really talk about the real you if you detach yourself from all the things you're going off on that are going on in your life. So, say me, Sahan. So, Sahan is a PT student at Jefferson University. I throw that profile or identity out the way. My name is no longer Sahan. I'm not a student at Jefferson. I'm just me. I'm my own being. And I think when some people are frustrated with themselves or are in a place where they're not comfortable with themselves, to separate from your entire being allows you to look at yourself in a much better way. You can look at it from the perspective of kind of like a third party, and you can see what is going on with that identity that you carry every day, because we all carry different identities that we've created through our experiences. So to look at that identity and from a different perspective and detach yourself allows you to maybe look at yourself a different way. You might be a little less harsh on yourself. That oh, he's a PT, so he's supposed to know this, this, and this, and supposed to do this, this, and this. No, that doesn't really mean anything. Once you detach yourself, you're at heart. When I'm detached and when I'm not connected to anything, my name's not Son. I'm not a PT. I don't go to this school. I'm just me. So I think there's a lot of humbleness that comes with that. And I think if you're able to detach yourself from outcomes, especially, you don't expect anything. And when you don't expect anything, you can go in there with the full presence and enjoy the journey, like it says. So that's the kind of bridge between enjoy the journey and law of detachment. When you detach yourself from everything, that's when maximal enjoyment can finally enter. And I made my own quote to add on this. So I have right here on a piece of paper, I said, to live the law of detachment is to step into a dance with the unknown, where faith replaces fear and where your true freedom can begin. And I think a key part about that is the faith. Because the second exercise is to talk about how uncertainty can be good and that no one can have all the answers. I do think the universe has all the answers in store for you, and for you to have a level of faith or to have an unwavering faith is one of the most important things you can do, because you have ultimate trust even in situations that you have no control over. And when those situations have happened in my life, I've seen the most amount of growth when looking back. And it also, when you enjoy the journey, it also uh, tells you to look back on what has happened in your life in the past 6 months. So say I feel like I haven't gotten anywhere with certain outcomes. I haven't done this, I haven't done that. But look at the person who I became in just the past 6 months after trying all these uh, new things, activities, or whatever it may be. So to look back and realize what has happened in the journey is what's important. Not focusing on certain destinations um, really allows you to be in the present moment and appreciate everything. And the last one, which is number 3 for the activity for this one, is consider what it means to feel balanced about loss and gain. So that kind of shows you to look at your wins and your losses and to understand why all of those things happen. They all they all are experiences that are unique to you that have kind of dictated your person and your being as a whole. So it's important that you experience, like we're here all to have an experience pretty much. When you're detached and when we go back to detachment at the end of the day, we're all here to have an experience of life, whether it may be good experiences, bad experiences, social experiences, like you name them all. Just we're just here at the end of the day to have an experience and share the company of others. So if if that's the whole purpose, then why should we tie ourselves to um, achieving this, achieving that? Not to say that achievements are not bad, are bad in any way. Of course, achievements are good, but that doesn't really tell the whole story of a person. Like I don't look at any of you guys and say, oh, are you guys this, this, and this, and this? Oh, if you're not this, this, and this, then you shouldn't be my friend. No way. I'm not going to look at something as stupid as an achievement or an accomplishment to dictate if any one of you guys are my friends or not. That's just not how it works. And if I think you have that mindset with other people, you have to really self-analyze too. And some of the things that I kind of wrote down as notes where I think it has helped me with. I think anxiety is like a good thing that this law can help with, because once you detach yourself from all the outcomes, anxiety is not really prevalent, and anxiety really takes away from enjoying the journey. So if you're able to eliminate that factor, if you struggle with anxiety, detachment is really something important to learn. And then, like I said before, the most beautiful things happen through faith and uncertainty. Having a certain belief in faith, I think, is always important, like I said. And what are my other notes here? Nothing can control you. So if nothing can control you, possibilities are limitless, and curiosity leads the way. So I think curiosity is also a really super important thing that has to go with this, because you start to ask questions and just enjoy what you are experiencing. And the more questions you ask and are observant of, the farther the universe takes you in general. So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
another
I feel
important
like
thing.
Sahan also about that. Can you repeat the last thing you said? Curiosity. It was about curiosity, right?
Yeah, nothing can
And
control you. Yeah, possibilities are limitless, and curiosity leads the way.
yeah, But I feel like today, I feel like we are degrading because we are not letting kids be curious. Like, are you guys noticing that? Like every time kids like start asking questions, like we kind of even in like schools and stuff like that outside, like we kind of forcing kids, okay, you can ask this question, and I feel like we are kind of limiting the potential of the next generation, if you want to say that, because like I feel like once you kill that curiosity when like child is a young age, I feel like then you're killing basically the personality of the person, and you won't even realize it because curiosity can get you into many places. Like once kids are curious, they tend to learn more and explore more. So which also helps to for them to develop their own personality and learn about like learn more about themselves and stuff like that. So I feel like we should push this like kind of agenda to not stop kids being curious.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it helps everyone. Literally, the situation about curiosity popped up today when I was at training. Our teacher, I was at martial arts training today, and our teacher said, you know, you and your brother are the only ones that ever ask certain questions about certain moves or anything. No one else that comes to the gym that I train really asks anything. They just do as they're told for whatever certain combinations or sets or whatever
Like they just
exercises
go through
they
the
do.
movement.
It's not that they just go, yeah, they just go through the movement, but I don't know exactly what they're, it depends on what they're there for. If they're just there for general fitness, then maybe they're not going to ask the most amount of questions. But me and my brother are always trying to ask questions. Oh, what do I do after I land this kick? What do I do after I land this punch? I feel a little bit off when I'm in this stance or when I do my pivot or a certain thing like that. But if we never asked those questions, we would never get an answer. And I think we progressed way more by asking those questions because our teacher is one of the most amazing trainers I've ever had in that he will answer my question by giving me a solution that works for me personally. And by being curious, you tend to find things that work for you better because if you are not curious, like Mike said, it kind of kills the spirit of everyone or the child, and they never find their own path. They tend to lead the path that has been set and laid out for them by maybe their parents or guardians or whoever has the most influence on their life. But if you have more curiosity, you not only learn more, but you develop your kind of own way of thinking and doing things. And Michael, do you have anything? Were you going to say anything else about that?
Oh, I just completely agree with both you and Mike. That was like a really good question because kids, when they're brought into the world, they're like a blank state, like blank slate. So I feel as though like they're a gift from the universe, and like kids are just like they're even amazing to be around because they you will always get the best answer from a kid, and you would never even realize it. But yeah.
Yeah, because everything they say is just the plain truth. They'll tell you how it is, and not exactly what you want to hear, but everything that's coming from them is genuine.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And going back to attachment, another thing that I kind of wrote down as one of my thoughts was uh, you allow the universe, God, or life itself to reveal possibilities far beyond what your limited plans could ever orchestrate or make up. So, whatever the universe has set for you, if you are attached to anything, even your own identity or own current identity, you cannot develop or turn into the person that you want to be because you are holding so tightly to the person you are right now. You never even left the opportunity open to become something new or something better or uh, something special. So that's another thing to really take into account. And then another situation for this came up and this is my last one that uh, we were talking about it was funny. We're actually talking about detachment when I was at the Traeger training, just like casual conversation with my instructor, and he was kind of saying it as we were doing the trainings, or we're doing the training as like around the lunch break, and he was referring to like a tennis player, and he said one of the best tennis players actually misses 50% of the shots that they hit. But what makes them like that's a crazy statistic if you think about it. If you're the best and you miss half of your chances, that seems insane. But the thing that makes him so great is the fact that he's able to let go or detach himself from all of those shots, and that he's able to go back and do it again regardless of what happened in the past serve or past shot. So he's able to move on from what has already happened and not let it get the best of him. And same thing for somebody like Ronaldo. I saw a quote, or he was on a podcast with Rio, and he said if I miss a penalty, you think I'm not gonna take the next one? He said hell no, I'm gonna take the next one. I'm gonna take it 100 times until I make it. I'm not gonna stop taking it until I make it. So if you have that type of mindset, one loss or 100 losses. It could be one little loss, or it could be you lose every single time. But the fact that you don't attach yourself to that means a lot, and those hundred losses or even one loss can change the shape of your life and what has happened to you. So that's what came up with um, my Traeger instructor, and he kind of told me to kind of apply the things when I was doing the Traeger, that there's no technically wrong movement. It's just a movement that is comfortable and good for me when I'm working on a patient.
Yeah,
And yeah, that
those my fault. I was saying
no, you're
those
good.
obstacles, right? Those like you were talking about the shots, like in a way that's like a loss, right? And if you thought if everything was win, 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 and it was just a simple, easy journey, would we even enjoy the destination?
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't learn anything. It wouldn't. The hardship makes it worthwhile. Like the fact that something was very difficult to do makes it more valuable than something that was easy to do. Like you
And that's
can,
why it's all about the journey,
yeah, exactly.
not the destination.
If you think about it like a price, like why is $1 not as valuable as 100? Because the work that it took to get that $100 is nowhere comparable to the work that it took to get that $1. So you value that $100 bill even more, even though it's the same piece of damn paper. It's the same piece of paper, just a little bit different writing on it, but the time and effort it took to get the $100 bill is substantially different than the $1. So that's another kind of perspective to take about it. And I
Yeah,
think I'm done wrapping that. Or no, Alex, go ahead.
I was just gonna say off of the third exercise, loss or gain, it shouldn't be an obstacle either way. It should only push you further in your own journey.
Yeah, I definitely agree because that's what it means to be attached, detached in the first place.
Yeah.
All right, and now since I'm done my little spiel on that, we're gonna go into the last day of the week, which is Saturday, and this one is one of the most important ones, and one I think people should really start to question. And it is you are here for a reason, and this is tied to the law of Dharma, which is pretty much seeking your higher self, discovering your unique talents, and asking yourself how you are best suited to serve humanity. And you find out how to use your unique talents and serve others to bring unlimited bliss and abundance to the world. And the exercises for this one are asking yourself, who are you? What are your gifts? And what are your gifts that you are here to share with the world? Number two is encourage unique talents and abilities. And number three is perform an act of service. And this act of service doesn't can be small, it can be large, it can be anything. But Yeah, those are the three activities for this one, and I think this is probably one of the most important ones on. I mean, all of these are equally important, but I think especially in today's day and age for our specific age group, this is probably one of the most important ones that
And
can be discussed.
I think a lot of gifts that people have can come from experiences or things that they realize over time. A lot of people don't even get to experience their own gifts that they might have to offer because they weren't allowing themselves to go with the flow and kind of experience life and let life take them on a journey. So I think being open to different experiences will let you learn or find out new gifts that you didn't know before. And I think we should all, because everybody has many gifts, I believe so. But I think we should all maybe talk about one gift that we have uh, that we might want to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is like a. I mean, this can be a simple but also a complicated question that I mean, sometimes it takes years for people to answer, but I think let's just go like maybe a sentence or two. Everyone just say, even if you don't, I know this might be a hard thing to answer even now, but let's just go with um, these two questions. Who are you? And what gifts do you have that do you think you are here to share? Um, and okay, maybe I'll start it off because this is like, yeah, just to give you guys a like a good example. So who am I? Well, let's go back to detachment real quick. So who are you regardless of your name and your identity is kind of the question. So who is Sahan? Who am I? I'm a person on this planet who really has a love for all the people around me. And even though I might react in certain ways, I really actually have a love and appreciation for everyone. And I really feel sorry when I see someone that can be doing better and needs the help. And I think with that, those feelings of compassion, I'm really able to express my gifts of love. So I I can I have a way I think of when I'm trying to help someone, I give them my all and my 100% most of the time. I'm not gonna go in just a little bit, dip my little toes in there. I'm gonna go like all the way. So I think this really speaks to me as far as why I'm in the healthcare profession or as a PT because I have the passion of exercise and movement, and those are two things that have really impacted my life significantly. And I think to share those gifts of movement and freedom is super important. So my gifts of uh, love and uh, what would I also say as a talent? Uh, I don't know. I can't think of one to like hard set right now, but I don't know. Like my profession, I think speaks to what uh, my gifts are like feeling and understanding like the people that I'm there to help. I think I'm able to do that decently well.
And I guess I'll go. And so as for me, I feel like I am someone who wants to learn and also use what I learn and experiences that I encounter to impact other people, whether it be just something small or something big where I can change their life by healing them. And I really am passionate about learning about other people and finding out what I can do to make them a better person or feel better. And that's why I'm doing physical therapy because that's my passion. And I also want to learn how I can change myself so that or and love myself a lot more so that I can impact other people. So I think me as a person, I just want to learn more and figure out what I don't know, and so that I can use it to better other people's lives, and maybe even make and definitely make my life better too. So I think everything is just a learning experience. And as for one of the gifts I feel like I have is being empathetic for other people. I feel like whenever there's somebody that is down or is in need of my help or anything that I see, like certain patients that I've seen through my parents or even some that I've seen through Traeger, and even through family and friends. If I see somebody that needs my help, I put myself in their situation. I kind of uh, visualize what they're feeling in that moment, and I feel like that takes me a long way because I can better understand how I can treat them and better understand what I can do to make them feel better with what I have and what I know.
I could go next. Not too sure if this is the full thing that I'm looking for or have found yet, because I can gain more from experiences, and there's many gifts out there. But if I were to detach myself and my identity, I feel like I'm here to basically experience the world and view through many different lenses, and through those lens I'm able to just have a feel for everything. And yeah, I guess that's it so far. But for my gift, I have realized that maybe I'm often the quietest one in the room, or I might not jump first at everything. But while being quiet, I feel like I'm constantly listening, observing, and just reading people. So I feel like in a world where everyone wants to be heard, there's a power in being the person who actually hears that. And um, people open up if they feel like they're fully understood and listened to, and this and they can heal from whenever they're understood. So it doesn't always require me to be the loudest in the room, but I just have to be present. So I feel like as of right now, that's a gift I'm sure I have, but there's more I could be opened up to. Yeah.
And so, like, I think a lot of the times we're always trying to understand why we're here, why we're doing this, or why we're going into this new experience. But I think over time, people, if you guys watching ask yourself this question, who am I and why am I here? It's pretty hard to answer. But I think taking your time to think about it will really impact you and kind of set you in the right direction because you don't might not realize your strengths, which you have already.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I guess I'll go next. Um, who am I? Not sure yet. Still looking, but I guess the main gift and purpose of myself that I know is that I want to use all God given traits that I have to its full potential to make sure that people who didn't have, let's say, opportunity to learn about this stuff, or like they don't know about it, maybe I just want to put it out there and like teach people more and show them that there are better ways, I guess, to life, and show them how to live their life to its max potential so they can enjoy it, you know?
Get the best experience that they can possibly get with whatever cards they've been dealt since birth or whatever they're going through now. Because there's like that's why healing your way is its thing. We're here to help you guys through all the services that we have to get the best experience out of your own life. And the way we feel that all of this stuff has brought us, even these seven spiritual laws, we're not going to sit here and keep it all to ourselves. Like Mike said, he's willing to share it and with everyone, so everyone can prosper.
And then, Prit, what about you?
So I feel like I would just say that I'm just like another guy, and I feel like everyone got like two sides of the same coin type of situation go on, where I have my wins and losses, successes and falls, and I feel like they all come together to make you as a person, and you don't have to be another cog in a wheel. And for me, I feel like I'm still trying to search and find out like what it is that makes me me. And I feel like what you said, going through things, being open to new opportunities. Like I feel like I like music is a part of what makes me me. And as for that, I just like everyone around me to be be happy. And I feel like in line with my gift, I feel like my gift is as far as I know, is being easygoing and being calm. And I feel like whenever I'm in a room, like I just like my surroundings to be, just as it sounds, like easygoing, where everyone's having a fun time and we are just, everyone's just getting along.
Hmm. And I like one of the things that you touched on there, where you're just another guy. Everybody is the same. Everybody has the ability to do many different things to help other people, and I think that we shouldn't forget that, and you shouldn't judge who's better or at this, or who's not as good at this. I think everybody is the same. And Alex, what about you?
So I'd say for me, who am I? I'm another dude on this earth that, you know, I guess I really just love to see a smile and a laughter from everybody. I guess it's like an addiction I have to make sure that everybody is having a good time, and spreading happiness is like, I could even say, my pastime hobby, you know? And seeing warmth from other people makes me feel good inside too, to make sure that everyone's happy, you know? I think this connects straight to my gift. I think my gift is problem solving. I'm really good at solving problems in all sort of settings. You know, I've been a camp counselor for 6 years, and I worked with so many different age groups. And you know, when there's a problem, usually most people aren't really happy when they're facing a problem. So I like to, uh, resolve that problem, and rather than escalate it, because I feel like life is only so short, so short. So why waste your time on a problem when you could be happy living this life?
And I feel like that's important when it comes to the fourth law, going with the flow. It seems like even though there's a challenge, you seem to just keep carrying on so that you can enjoy and learn for the future.
Yeah, definitely.
It's on, you're muted.
And even over the next, maybe days, weeks, or years, or months or years, this the answer to this question can maybe change. A lot of people, even I'm not excluded from this, like don't don't know exactly or can pinpoint exactly who they are. But I think not trying to define yourself is also a good thing to do. You should be open to everything, and who you are, like we said before, is not defined by what you're capable of. But when you finally realize your gifts, it makes things a lot easier. So to realize what you're good at, really helps in having that step forward and finally answering that question. So
And I also wanted to give credit to Deepak Chopra for all the 7 laws that we've been talking about today, which are in one of his books.
and yeah, that was the last one. You guys have any other comments?
Shout out to Deepak.
Hmm.
Yeah,
No,
man.
he
It was
was really
very genuine episode, and I feel like people should really take take life serious. You know, they might not realize, and they might think they're living life, but there is more and more to learn and stuff you don't know. So I would suggest to seek out for more knowledge.
Yeah, life is a lot more than just the situation that you have at hand. You can learn a lot of new things if you just go with the flow, and also uh, take time to think about why you're here, and who you're here to contribute to. So yeah.
And if no one has any further comments, then I think we can wrap this episode up. And yeah, thank you guys for joining on today's podcast, Figuring Out Friday, where we went over the 7 spiritual laws. Hopefully, you have a good idea of that, and you can maybe each day of the week you apply or use some of the practices that we talked about or displayed on today's episode. And yeah, like and subscribe to all of our channels here on Rumble, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And yeah, we will see you guys on the next podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. And yep, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
See you guys.